Fine.
Hey, Justice Dabo.
Justice.
Hey, I have read, in this in Facebook, and then also, in various, social media platforms.
Yes. Yes.
That you were, advising, the army, not actually, maybe, do drill for a visiting Senegalese team.
Yeah, I mean, it comes up on the heels of my call for the government of Adama Barrow to ask the Senegalese troops here to leave because they've outlived their mandate. One, two, they are too ubiquitous. We have armies in this economic contingent, including Nigeria and Ghana, that are bigger and even more sophisticated. But it's only the Senegalese contingent that has its own checkpoint, that's having issues with citizens, that has exposed us to risks we've not seen for the past 50 years. That's the MFDC lopping artillery into our territory. All of these things are happening. They've had clashes with our soldiers over the Senegambia bridge. So the Senegalese contingent has an ulterior motive here, and we cannot afford to keep a troop force here that's exposing our citizens to risks. One, two, Senegal is our neighbor. We've had good relations with them before during the Jawara era. That did not end well. What type or quantity of intelligence are the Senegalese forces picking on the Gambia? What's going to be the nature of our relationship tomorrow? And also, their presence here is further encouraging Adama Barrow to stall the security sector reform process and making our army redundant, reducing their pride and self-esteem. So if we are under such a situation, then you're reducing our army to a group of Boy Scouts that have to entertain visiting students from Senegal. I find it totally unconscionable, totally unacceptable, and it just shows the disdain that Adama Barrow has for our army.
So, but if are you suggesting that Adama Barrow is trying to surrender our armed forces to Senegal?
He has already done that by outwardly showing us that he does not trust our security men, but he trusts Senegalese security officers because those ones are his close protection officers. And maintaining the Senegalese soldiers here, maintaining their checkpoints in Foni, clashing with our soldiers within our territory, overcrossing at the bridge and stuff like that, refusing to pay, it's because Adama Barrow is condoning it. So we don't need to leave our territory.
Right. So what because let us put this into let us put this thing into context, because the Senegalese people the Senegalese troops also came here through a bilateral agreement, a security arrangement. Don't you think also it requires maybe a sit back to this particular agreement, whatever framework there is, to see, how best, to ensure a smooth, exit, of these Senegalese, forces, because, also, I don't think, their, exit, should be chaotic.
Look, these people came here ostensibly just to smoothen the handing over of power. Ordinarily, should that take more than 6 months? Jammeh left in less than 2 months after the election. We had a transitional arrangement for 3 years. That is over, extended by Adama Barrow for another 5 years. That's still over. What other reason do we need to delay their presence here? Whatever agreements are existing between our government and that of Senegal, we don't even know about it. Because normally there should be a SOFA, Status of Forces Agreement. As far as I know, I don't know about it. I know that even our National Assembly members, they don't know the details of this. So even the legality of the Senegalese contingent's presence here is questionable because their mandate and the nature of their operations goes beyond the economic mandate. So in the absence of any proof from Adama Barrow that there is a binding legal agreement for the Senegalese to be here, in fact, their exit should be immediate because I don't know of any legal foundations for this.
So, but I mean, as much as we want the Senegalese troops out, but also why don't we also look at our security architecture? Because some people will say that there is this element of fragility in our security architecture. Do you think we don't still need foreign troops especially Senegalese to help us through? As you've rightly said, because the security sector reform has been stalled, and then we need a balance. We need someone to be actually because we just came from a dictatorship, and then looking at our security situation. Do you think it will be advisable for the Senegalese to move out at this particular moment when we have a security sector reform program that has been stalled?
The fact is that there is no political will to expedite and implement the security sector reform. That is amply evident right now. So how long will we sit down and wait for Adama Barrow to stall this process as an excuse to keep the Senegalese military here? In terms of the supposed fragility of our security architecture is not fragile. Gambia has had an army for more than a whole generation, more than 30 years. We've had our men, our women trained in elite international security institutions like the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, the United States Defense University, Pakistan, Turkey, and they've served with honor and excellence and distinction in troubled regions like Darfur, like East Timor. The Gambia security architecture is top-notch. There is no excuse for keeping the Senegalese here. Our men and women, our own citizens can take care of our security.
Yes, but if we should, actually, learn from history, because, we've seen that, one of the reasons, that, the junta, and that is, 1994, military, junta, one of the reasons, that, they've advanced, was, the presence, of the Nigerian, contingent, in the Gambia, that time. And then, if we should learn, from history, do you think, what do you think, this portends, this particular, particular issue, that is, the presence of, the continued, presence of, the Senegalese troops here, what does this portend, for the country? When, we have to, actually, take, inspiration, wisdom, from history.
The lesson from history actually backs my argument that the foreign forces should leave. If you look at testimonies from top Gambian soldiers at the TRRC, they all said that they felt humiliated by the presence of foreign security forces as overlords who were maltreating them, and some even alleged that some of these Nigerian troops taught these boys the idea of coup d'etat. So that argument actually is in favor of my stance for these foreign forces to leave this country.
Right. Yes. Exactly. So, Doctor, what finally, do you have, to, maybe, tell, because, this is about, security. So, since, we don't have, a military, that, our president trusts. Actually, what do you think, this will, do, with the morale, of our men and, women, in uniform?
The president has no reason to distrust our security. The only reason they had was they were loyal to Yahya Jammeh. But you have Fabakary Tombong Jatta and co, who were even closer to Yahya Jammeh, serving in this government. Fabakary manning one of the most important institutions in this country. And Fabakary, on the day he was sworn in as Speaker of the House, said that he still maintains his stance that Barrow rigged the 2016 election. If Barrow can trust Fabakary in an institution that can impeach him overnight, there is no reason he should distrust an army who have shown us that who have shown us no sign of getting interested in politics, and a lot of whom have confessed to the nation that they regretted their past actions.
So, but like,
there is no excuse.
I know, briefly, and then of course, maybe, quickly, I know that, actually, and this is an army, that have, regretted, their past. But, also, someone, will argue, and then, of course, so, convincingly that, this is an army, that have betrayed, the citizenry, because, when, Yahya Jammeh, abrogated, the will of the people, when Yahya Jammeh, refused, to cede power, the army was there, and then, they were, just, bystanders. So obviously, this is an army, that obviously, one can also argue that, citizens, cannot place, their entire trust upon.
Well, what I know for sure, if you assess sentiment rightly, majority of Gambians would rather have our own brothers and sisters man our national security. Our people would rather have our brothers and sisters to man our security. The army did not betray the people. consider a situation if that army decided to stand by Jammeh and fight the economic forces that came into to foster this transition. What would happen? I think we should give them credit that they stood by and allowed a foreign force to come and take over from them to have a smooth transition. The army did not betray the people. The circumstances were complex.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Doctor, for taking your time, to speak to us, sir.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.